All right, so I'm back with a part two. All right, so earlier I had a situation I had to get taken care of. However, what I was leaving off at about the whole thing, basically, it was just so much confusion going on, misunderstanding. And when you don't really take the time out to actually study, excuse me, when you don't take the time out to actually study the subject, then you're going to be left in a state of confusion. And what happened is 90% of our people, let's keep it real. If I was to give out a number, 90% of our people do not actually take the time out to study the actual science. 90% of our people would not study anthropology. And if the conscious community was doing its diligent by bringing anthropology into a picture, more and more of our people become more advanced. They become more advanced. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, excuse me. Yeah, with that being said, more and more our people become advanced. And it would not be so much problem. And also, what our ancestors taught those who have transitioned, it was a lot of misinformation. You have to look at the time period where they didn't have the technological advances like they do today. Okay, so a lot of the stuff is outdated. All right, a lot of it is outdated. Now, as far as black people having a certain type of attitude towards the Egyptian is pretty wrong. I think that if we come in a room where we actually dialogue with someone or with the people from North Africa, those that's from Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Egypt, Nubia, if we're able to have a conversation with them and interact with them and hear more from them, then we'll be able to have a clear understanding. We'll have much more a better understanding if we was to interact with those people. But because we just go by the fact that somebody tells that this person was this color and that color and they are our people, then we left in the mindset of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So we had to take it upon ourselves. If we really want to learn more about our culture and history, and we're very passionate about it, we would do the research for ourselves. We would actually look up information. We will cross-reference. But many of our people are too lazy for that. They too lazy. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do the cross-reference. They don't want to do the necessary work that it takes to actually understand. They want something given to them. That's why you got certain individuals that can get away with putting out certain documentaries and certain information and get paid off of it. All because people don't take the time out to actually cross-reference or question the narrative. You know? Bobby Hemming said it the best. Knowledge can be rudimentary. Somebody might come along with some information to debunk the claims that I have put out. That's Bobby Hemming's word. Because remember, we started off at a rudimentary level. You start off at a very beginning level, but from there you have to advance yourself. Excuse me. You have to advance yourself. If you do not advance yourself, then you're going to be stuck at that rudimentary level. You got to advance yourself. You got to take the step. And again, it's not easy understanding genetics. This is why I recommend people. I'm going to give you a recommendation for those of you that's watching. Shout out to Brother Centavo. Peace to Centavo. Thank you for coming through. But this is my recommendation for people who really passionate learning about African descendants in the diaspora. I want you guys to check out Dr. Fatima Jackson. Dr. Fatima Jackson is a bioanthropologist. All right, she's a Muslim sister, but she's a bioanthropologist. And she does a good job at explaining things like this. She does a good job at breaking things down. And her video is all over YouTube. So I recommend people to check out Dr. Fatima Jackson. And then also, I recommend people to check out Soy Kieta. Soy Kieta does a great job at breaking things down as well. I recommend it. Okay? But we got to understand that black is a social construct that's dealing with race, but our ethnic, as far as our descendant is concerned, is African, but in particularly Central West Africa. Now, there's other things I could talk about what I did not like or I didn't think that was very. I don't think he was would not say representing good character. I'm talking about Chief S in this case. There's some things that I did not approve what Chief S did. And I thought that was very offensive and very disrespectful. And the reason why I say that because it's one thing to talk about a person, right? Or to call a person out for whatever error or misinformation they have. But it's another thing when you post someone's family member, right? Whether it be their wives, the girlfriend, the mama, whoever. Once you post somebody's family member on a platform like YouTube without the permission of that individual, then that could be a problem. So whether if you did not have a bad intention, whether your intentions were good or bad, whether it was good or bad, right? And whether you was giving good compliment about the person, it's still not appropriate to just post somebody's family member on a platform like this. It's disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. So to me, I thought that was very problematic. I thought that was out of character of him because he didn't have to go that route. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to post that man's family. All right. So whether you believe that his mama is not Fulani and or whatever the case may be, that's fine. You got the right to believe that, but you don't post his family on the video. That's not a good look because you won't want somebody to do that to you. You won't want somebody to post your daughter, your grandchild, or your girlfriend, whoever. You won't want somebody to just go around posting up the information on their channel because you'll be flipping out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking in terms of Chief S. I think he was out of character for that. It's one thing you convey a point, but it's another thing when you try to go beyond to get pictures and show the world that, hey, this is who his mama looked like. That's wrong. That's disrespectful. That's really disrespectful, in my opinion. But overall, what do I think of the dialogue? I think the dialogue was okay. Again, it could have been a little bit better if Ngozi was able to explain himself more instead of getting cut off every 5 seconds because this individual don't want to hear anything about DNA and genetics and all that. Well, if you're going to have a conversation about pigmentation and lineage and ancestry, you going to have to talk about DNA and genetics. That's part of the conversation. That's the most important piece. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that because I just feel like this, we allowed this whole thing with the North African situation, the ancient Egypt history get out of control. We allow it to interfere with how we communicate with each other. At the end, not saying that those history are not important, but there's bigger issues going on. There's much greater issues taking place besides what the ancient Egyptian people did and the Natufians and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It is a lot more issues out there. But this happened to be the main one where people get into heated debates about, and they start dissing each other, fighting each other, threaten one another. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Doing exposés and all of that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy and it's insane. It doesn't. Okay, now you done proved all this. Now you got all the scholarship. Now how's that going to help to build some type of foundation? What else is what else you're gonna do with it? Is it is it the whole thing dealing with wisdom, or is it about victory? Because if it's about a victory, then didn't nobody gain anything out of it. Somebody just want to prove that, oh, I know more than you and I am right. And it's more of those I got you moment. Instead of saying, well, what can we do to resolve these issues to so that way we can be able to be on the same page and have a better understanding. So when I looked at that video, I don't see that somebody trying to gain wisdom or somebody trying to gain clarity on the situation, but I saw someone just want to gain victory and try to make an individual look bad because of another thing that took place where there was a debate going on, and this and brother Ngozi happened to come in, and he was listening to both parties, and he agreed with this individual and he also agreed with that individual, and he had some disagreement with this individual. He also had a disagreement with that individual. So now it seemed like that became a problem because the way it sounds that Ngozi was supposed to choose a side as opposed to being able to use his rationality. And how does that work? How do you force a person to choose a side? If that person can be able to reason with what you're saying and reason with what somebody else saying, then there's no reason for them to choose a side. I mean, all of this is ridiculous. And I think, and I'm gonna say this I'm gonna say it publicly. I think it's a serious detriment going on side of the platform. That's just my opinion. It's a serious detriment because when you get on there, it's more drama. It's more drama. If you notice that people come from his platform, then all of a sudden it's more drama going on because something was said due to the fact that it was coming from him or it was coming from someone else or how the whole thing was set up. So in my opinion, I feel like it's a detriment going on Sinel's platform because we already know what Sinel stands on his position. He ain't really too much for the people. He cares more about making profit than he does with the people. And he just let any and everybody get on the platform, and he does pick a side. He shows favoritism. You know what I'm saying? He does. He shows favoritism. So that's just my opinion. I mean, that's just why I stand. I just feel like it's detrimental. I think that, yeah, if there was a platform where more people from North Africa, Northeast Africa at that, and African Americans can dialogue with each other and be able to come with better understanding about history, then it will bring much more progress. But at the end of the day, we are African descended people, and the reality is Africa is very diverse. So when I say that, that means that you don't have one particular one particular tribe, or one particular skin pigmentation, or one particular hair texture. You don't have that, right? You know what I mean? You don't have just that one. Everybody have different hair texture, different skin pigmentation, speaking different language. So Africa is the most diverse continent. It's the most diverse continent. So and that's just what it is. All right. So the whole purpose as human, we come here to receive the wisdom, not to just gain victory. Because what good is victory if you haven't got any wisdom? Let me ask again, what good is victory if you have not received the wisdom? That's all I ask. And that's all I ask. And I agree. I agree because at this point, again, the more the his main focus is trying to make people look bad as opposed to asking questions that's going to help resolve some issues. He just wants to be able to put people on the pedestal and give them a bad name, make them look bad because he feel like they are not being genuine. Now, there are certain individuals whose scholarship was put into questions. Okay, there are certain individuals. Here we go, and here's another one. Here's another one. I'm not finna. I'm not finna go there. I'm not finna answer that question. Okay, I'm not gonna answer that question because I'm not gonna go for the debate. All right. Only thing I can say is study history about Pan Africanism. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Study history about Pan Africanism, and you'll find the answer. Okay. Hey, that's how you feel. What's your name, Peanut King? If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. All right. I'm not gonna debate on that. I'm not gonna go back and forth about that. That's your thoughts. That's your feelings. So be it. If that's how you feel, so be it. All right. I don't know what you are. I don't know if you're FBA or if you are ADOS or whatever. I don't know what you represent. Because that sounds like to me that's what you are. But I'm not gonna go there about that. I'm not. I'm gonna leave that part alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm not gonna make this about the Pan Africanism versus the FBA ADOS and all that else. So I'm not gonna do that. Nah, because that's not where it's gonna go. All right, but I will say this, and it is valid whether you want to identify with it or not. At the end of the day, your ancestry goes back to Central West Africa. That's just what it is, and you can find a lot of African practice and custom here in America, especially in the South. You can find a lot of African custom, a lot of practices. And as a matter of fact, we carry on a lot of the customs every day without even knowing. We carry on these customs. Okay? So if you think the people are fraud or whatever, okay, certain individuals are fraud. There's plenty of folks who are fraudulent everywhere. It don't matter what they represent. You got fraudulent folks everywhere. Okay? So if you feel that way, that's fine. If you feel like, well, Pan Africanism is fraud or whatever the case may be, that's fine. That's on you. But that's anywhere you go. You find that with politicians. You find that with religious folks. You find that with anybody. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You're gonna find that everywhere you go. You're gonna find the pros and cons with everybody. Okay. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm not gonna go any longer on this. I just want to like share my thoughts. So I thank you guys for those of you that tune in watching. I don't know if things gonna get better in the future. I don't see things getting better with the conscious community in the future because the issue is people have too much egos. So when you got too much egos going on and not enough humility, then it becomes problematic. So I don't think these issues gonna go away anytime soon. Only thing I can say is people gotta be wise enough and be able to take what they can learn and do the rest on their own. You have to do the work on your own, pretty much. You have to, take certain things with a grain of salt, take certain information, and be able to study on your own. That's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can do. And that's it. Okay, well, shout out to Baltimore. Do I support Pan Africanism? I do. I do. I do support Pan Africanism. And I have my reason to. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. I hope that answered your question. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and get back to doing what I was doing, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. So shout out to everybody. Um, Shout out to everybody in America. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in Latin America. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. Shout out to everybody in South America. You know, shout out to the whole diaspora, and shout out to those in the continent. All right. Again, I don't have any issues. You know, I don't have any problems with certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? Some people you can get along with, some people you can't get along with, some people you can deal with, some folks you can't deal with. So I just kind of feel bad for what kind of happened with Ngozi, because I felt like the way the situation was done, it was like he was just put out there on the spot. You know, this man don't really have a YouTube channel, for one. And two, he doesn't really get on YouTube like that. And when he had Facebook, he didn't last very long on Facebook, because every time he get on Facebook, something always go wrong. So I never seen Ngozi try to put somebody family member on blast, like put a picture of somebody's loved one on the internet, or even when he goes on other people's platform, I never see him, put up a picture of anybody. Now, every now and then he might be roasting somebody, he might cuss somebody out, whatever. But I never seen him go to that extent. And like I said, the brother don't really have a YouTube, so he don't have a YouTube. He don't do YouTube like that. All right. He only time he do it when he gets on people's platform. Outside that, he don't have a YouTube channel where he posts up videos. Now, it would be nice if he did, but that's his choice, and he has a right to his decision. He has a right to his decision. He has a right to not want to do a YouTube channel, and that's okay. All right. But shout out to brother Ngozi. I have much respect for him. I wish him the best, and hopefully, I would love to see more of him on other people's platform and continue with the teaching, and hopefully he don't get discouraged because of this whole thing going down. And I hope he don't get discouraged. I hope he continues to teach the people. I hope he continues to educate the people, because that's the whole goal here. I mean, as long as he's doing it, he did his work. So regardless how people may think of him or how people may feel about it, he did his work. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. So as long as you do what you're supposed to and you play your part, then that's all that matters. Everybody else got to play theirs. All right. So anyways, y'all be safe until next time. May peace and power elevation be to all of you. So it's your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off saying deuces. So for those of you just coming in, you have to watch the video from the beginning. This just to continue. This is a part 2 of the part 1 that I did earlier. So if you want to see what the video is about, you can watch part 1 of this video and also look at part 2 of this as well. All right. So other than that, y'all just be safe and y'all take it easy on yourselves, and I'll reconnect with you guys later. All right. All right then. Good night.